Hello, very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News live on MTV Sports. I'm Shahan Jarangpati. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. Newsfirst correspondent who attempted to cover a story on the kidnapping of an elephant from Uddawalava assaulted. Vehicular movement along the Allavallavai road restored. Video shows last minutes of passengers inside sinking South Korean ferry. On to local news. Office trains have commenced operating along the Northern Line this morning after train services were suspended following the Putuhara train accident. The Railway Control Room stated that 3 office trains from the Mahava, Kurunagala and Polgahawila train stations have commenced operations.
The Railway Control Room stated that steps have been taken for the trains to use secondary line as a temporary measure. In the meantime, the night mail trains that set off from Palle, Batikalo and Trincomalee have reached Colombo. The Railway Control Room stated that Yaldevi train that left the Palle railway station had reached Colombo at 5:45 this morning. Activity on the Northern Line was suspended following Wednesday's train accident at Putuhara, which resulted in 68 people being injured. The Railway Control Room stated that they intended restoring activity on the Northern Line by this evening.
Vehicular movement along the Allavallavai road has now been restored. Early today, vehicular movement was completely disrupted due to an earth slip.
Assistant Director of the Badulla District Disaster Management Centre E.L.M. Udayakumar said that the rocks and earth embankments had fallen at the 12th mile post in Karandagolla. He added that steps have been taken by the Road Development Authority and the Alla Police to reopen the road. E.L.M. Udayakumar said that the motorists could use the Koslanda Road and the Passara Bandal Kumbura Road as alternative routes.
Meanwhile, the landslide warning issued for the Badulla and Kandy districts until 8:30 tonight is still in effect. The Department of Meteorology said that several places in the island is expected to receive thunder showers this evening.
Showers for thunder showers will develop over most parts of the island during the afternoon and night. Showers can be expected in the coastal areas from Puttalam to Batikalo via Galle and Puttuvil during the morning too. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by lightning activities. I am Ajit Jemana.
3 people were injured when a torch exploded in a house in Balangoda this morning. Police media spokesperson SSP Adithrona said that the explosion took place when the torch was switched on. The incident occurred this morning when a 14-year-old child picked up a torch which was lying on the floor of the house and handed it to her father, which subsequently exploded when he switched it on. The explosion caused injuries to a female aged 24, her father and brother. According to a correspondent, the mother was engaged in morning prayers at the time of the incident. The injured were admitted to the Balangoda hospital and were later transferred to the Ratnapura General Hospital for further treatment. The police said that it is suspected that the torch was configured to explode upon switching it on. Nilendra Deshapriya, who won the award for the best film at the Shahid Pahalek Film Awards in New Delhi, India, arrived in the island last night. Nilendra Deshapriya won the award for his direction of the movie Tanha Ratiranga.
A large group, including actors and actresses of the movie and many representatives of the film industry, were present to welcome Nilendra Deshapriya.
सम्मानीय गौरवी हिमेनोन मे चित्रपटिये रंगपे रंगन शिल्पींट.
The honor of this award must be given to all the actors and actresses in the movie. This is a movie which involves each and every Sri Lankan because it depicts the situation the country faced over the past 25 years. So I kindly request that this movie be screened here as soon as possible.
मे चित्रपटिයට ප්‍රදර්ශන වාරය ලබා දෙන ලෙස මම ආදරෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටින කැමැතියි.
Having visited the tomb of the unknown soldier and taken in the sights and sounds of the Alexander Gardens in Moscow, the Around the World team arrived in New Delhi, India yesterday. The delegation, which consists of members of Newsfirst and Sri Lanka Youth, are due to attend a number of events to promote the World Conference on Youth. Newsfirst Ramesh Urugal Bandara reports.
Around the World in 40 days.
The Around the World team joins you today from New Delhi in India. We departed from Moscow, Russia yesterday, and following a 6-hour-long flight, we arrived in New Delhi, India last night at around 2:30 a.m. Today, the Around the World team is due to meet with several youth representatives and also visit several iconic locations in Delhi. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Urugal Bandara with the of Kamasuri from New Delhi, India.
The final rites of the chief of the indigenous tribe in Henanigala, Talawarige Kaluapu, is scheduled to be conducted on Sunday. Chief of the indigenous tribe of Henanigala, Talawarige Kaluapu, passed away the night before last. His relatives said he passed away at the age of 114 and was suffering from illness for a while. The final rites of the chief will be observed in the Henanigala indigenous village on Sunday evening. Indigenous leader Uruwarige Vanila Atto was also present to pay his respects.
Newsfirst, English news, now on Dialogue TV, channel number 9. You could catch our primetime breakfast news at 7 a.m., lunchtime news at 12:30 p.m. and our flagship news bulletin at 9 p.m. You could also keep yourself up to date with Live at 55s and Newsfirst Plus every half an hour from 8:30 to 5:30 in the evening. Newsfirst, Sri Lanka's only international news brand.
Well, now back on to one of our local headline-making stories. Newsfirst correspondent Mahinda Pushpakumara, who attempted to report on a story of an elephant calf being kidnapped from the Udawalawe Wildlife Sanctuary, has been assaulted. Director General of Wildlife H.D. Ratnayaka said that an attempted elephant kidnapping was foiled. H.D. Ratnayaka said that they received reports of an alleged kidnapping of an elephant calf from the Pallebadda Galpaya area of the sanctuary yesterday. He added that rope and a tractor was in place for the operation. However, when wildlife officials had arrived at the location following the tip-off, the group had fled the scene. H.D. Ratnayaka said that a shooting was also reported. Now, meanwhile, our provincial correspondent Mahinda Pushpakumara arrived at the scene to cover the story.
I arrived at the location at about 10 o'clock last night. There was a large group of wildlife and police officers in the area. They parked the vehicles across the road thinking that they were going to bring the calf out. There were 2 Pajeros, a lorry and a tractor, but the calf was not in any of these vehicles. They got off and said something to the people there. The police called someone suddenly, and then a while later, the police officers received a call. Then they said it was okay and to let the vehicles pass. The wildlife officers had requested that the vehicles be searched, but the police did not do so. I cunningly recorded all of this, including the license plate numbers of the vehicles and the various equipment that was there, including the ropes and ladders. Then one of them got off a vehicle and came up to me.
උඹට පුළුවන් දෙක අපි වීඩියෝ කරන්න මේ වරෝ කියලා කුමාරප දෙකක් කියලා මාව ඇදලා මේ බඩට වඩෙන් අතින් ඇදගෙන ජීප් එකේ යන්න දෙස්සර තුන් සැරේ ඇනලා දොර ඇරලා මාව ඇතුළට දාගෙන
He shoved me against the jeep twice or thrice and then flung me inside, following which they drove for about 300 meters. The police were looking on, but the wildlife officers shouted that they could not take me away and that they were the ones who had asked me to come here. They opened the jeep and threw me out and then took off with my camera. They returned my camera about 30 minutes later, but the tape was gone. The camera was not working.
මේකේ ටේප් එක නෑ ඒක අරගෙන බලනකොට කැමරාව තිබ්බ කැමරාව වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් මට කිසිම දෙයක් මම කිව්වා මේ මේකොල්ලෝ එහෙම කළා තත්තරකට ගන්න නැද්ද කියලා පොලිසියෙන් කිසි දෙයක් කරේ නෑ.
Now, when Newsfirst contacted the police to make inquiries, the police informed us that inquiries should be made from the Director General of Wildlife. The Director General of Wildlife, H.D. Ratnayaka, says that investigations are underway in search of the group who had fled the area. And with that, we wrap up today's edition of Primetime News. Thank you very much for watching. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Shahin Jurangpati.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.